Hi, my name is Delmarshae Walker. Welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is doing great today. What I want to talk about is groupthink. And before I get into it, I just want to read two definitions that I have. The first one, the practice of thinking or making decisions as a group in a way that discourages creativity or individual responsibility. The second, a psychological phenomenon that occurs within a group of people in which the desire for harmony or conformity in the group results in an irrational or dysfunctional decision-making outcome. And so the reason why I wanted to talk about groupthink today is because for the last 2 years since the pandemic started, everyone has more or less kind of wanted everyone to move on one accord. And that's not natural in the human world as well as in nature. We need individuality. Groupthink is actually, I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice, but groupthink is actually destroying our society. It is not good for our society. Everything that we have now that's positive, as far as cell phones, cameras, TVs, electricity, and everything like that, came from people who thought outside of the group, came from people who was individual, who wasn't afraid to take a chance, even if it means them becoming outcasts. And when we get to the point where the president wants to say, okay, we're going to think as a group, everyone is going to get this vaccine, everyone's going to be okay with it, and if you don't do it, you can lose your job and things like that. It becomes very dangerous. So everyone that was thinking as individual, everyone that raised their hand and said, I have a questions about this virus, I have a question about this vaccine, they were shut down. They was pushed to the side. They was looked at as being disruptive. They was looked at as being a person who did not want to help society. Everyone wanted to blame the people. It became vax against unvax. And they wanted to put people that was considered unvaxxed, or more or less people who had questioned, more or less people that raised their hands because they wanted answer. They wanted to get more clarification based on what they was putting in their body. They was demonized. They was looked at, oh, you don't want to help people get better. Oh, you don't want to help everyone get over this virus, which was not true. Now looking at everything that's coming out slowly about this vaccine, a lot of questions, concerns, and thinking outside of the box, not following the group, has been validated. These questions have been validated because now you got evidence showing that, hey, everything wasn't as what they were seeing. And so if it wasn't for people standing on the outside giving pushback and everybody just following people, just think where this society would be as a whole. It's very, very important not to just get caught up in, I'm just going to go along to get along. I'm just going to do this because I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to have waves. Imagine your child is in school, and regardless of if they're in public school, private school, the best school that money could buy, your child came home one day with a note saying that they were suspended for 2 weeks. You're going to ask, why have you been suspended? And they're going to say, oh, my teacher suspended me because I was asking questions. Okay, isn't that what you're supposed to do in school? Every time I raised my hand and wanted clarification on what the teacher was saying, they told me to shut up. Every time I raised my hand to ask, kind of push the limit on what the teacher was saying to get more of an answer or to understand why this is the reasoning for this, I was told I need to just be quiet, sit back, listen, and just go along with what the teacher is telling them. If they said that to you, you would be very upset. Because in school, that's what you're supposed to do. Raise your hand. Hey, the book said this, this, and this. What if this happened? Or what if that happened? What if this? You want your child to think outside of the box. You want your child to be an independent thinker. So why, when they get out of school, now it's a problem that as an adult, they're independent thinkers. Now it's like, no, shut up and just go along. If you had a company, one of the things you do in a company is brainstorm. You get different people together and say, okay, this is the problem. What can we do to solve the problem in order for the company to move on, in order for the company to make a profit, in order for the company to make their customers happy? You want to brainstorm. You don't want everyone saying the exact same thing. You want people to think outside the box. But once we step outside of the workplace, it's a problem. As individual humans in this world, we can't have questions about something that someone wanted us to put in our body. There's a lot of people who got vaccinated that absolutely did not want to get vaccinated. And then when the evidence come out, then it shows that they really didn't have to get vaccinated. They may have had the virus before, and now they have natural immunity, which was also protecting them against the virus. But it's like, it's not about being right or being wrong. It's just this culture that we live in, way we look at people as being evil because they're an independent thinker. We look at people as being evil when they say, I just have questions, I have concerns, I just want more information. When have that ever been wrong? When has being curious been wrong? When your child is growing up, if anyone has a child that starts talking, the first thing they do, they ask questions about everything. Why is the sky blue? Why is it raining? Why is this? Why is that? Why is the color green? They ask questions because they're curious. They want to know. They want more information. You don't sit there and tell your child, just no, I'm not answering that. You're asking too many questions. Just be quiet. You want them to learn. But as an adult, we're supposed to stop learning. We're supposed to stop being curious. We're supposed to stop having those natural inklings to want to know more. And if something doesn't sound right, doesn't seem right, or doesn't match with facts, scientific facts at that, is wrong to say, hey, this is not equaling out. So, and then the other thing is cancel culture. I am so over that. Why don't we start canceling cancel culture? Why can't a person, as long, I understand hate speech. I understand bullying. But everything isn't hate speech that a person say, and everything isn't bullying that a person say. Why, like Twitter, Facebook, if you say something and it's facts, or if you just ask a curious question, they want to shut you down. They want to suspend you. They want to say, hey, you're going to get strikes against you. Why? It's more dangerous not to ask questions than it is to ask questions. It's more dangerous not to be curious than it is to be curious. That is human nature. Groupthink needs to be canceled because it's not good. Because no one wants to take responsibility. If I stand up here and I say something, I'm either going to say it's my opinion, it's my thoughts, or my feeling. If I'm saying something and I say this is facts, there are facts out there to back it up. That's how I feel, and if anyone get offended by what I say, I can have an opinion. As long as I'm not having an opinion as long as I'm not saying anything to be rude or malice or anything like that, I can have an opinion. I can have a thought. I can have a feeling. I can have emotions. But my emotions and anything like that, as long as I'm not representing them as facts, what's the problem? Anytime you present something as facts, you should have something to back it up. You should have documentation to back it up. And when there's documentations out there to back it up, why are you shutting people up? Why is society telling people to be quiet? What are you really trying to protect? Is it your pockets? What is it? Is it the truth? Why is the truth is the truth that dangerous that no one wanted to come out? Is society, do y'all just want society just to conform to everything that higher ups say do? Because it's not going to happen. I know with me it's not going to happen, but it's not going to happen. You have a God-given right to think. That's why God gave you a brain, so you can use it to think. So you can use it to ask questions. When you look at the beginning of the Bible, God knew all the answers, but he had a conversation with Adam, not for his sake, but for Adam's sake. Because Adam had questions, Adam was curious. God didn't say, well, I already know the answer, so you need to just shut up and sit back. No, he entertained those questions and gave him the answer because it was for his benefit and not God's benefit. So if society worked that way, you might know more than a person, so why get upset when a person asks you questions? Or why would get upset when a person challenges what you're saying? So I feel that, I'm over political correctness, and I'm over cancel culture. Because if we would not be where we're at now if people wasn't asking questions. All this information that's coming out now is because people wanted answers. Other than that, this information was there in the beginning that should have been presented, but it wasn't. And so because so many people was giving pushback and saying, I want this information, now they're coming out with it slowly. And a lot of things, like I said, people had questions about, there was valid questions. Concerns, there was valid concerns. And so we need to get away from that. And like I said, it's dangerous for the country as a whole to have a society where you can't ask a question. So that's all I wanted to say. I hope everyone have a great day. Peace.